Slum dwelling is not only a Philippine phenomenon, it's a global phenomenon now. And they are projecting by the year 2015, there'll be 2.5 billion people around the world living in slums. And when I say slums, I mean the living conditions are like these ones: no water, no sanitation, no security of tenure. They could be evicted. And this is a growing phenomenon.
Yes, it definitely, homelessness is definitely a big problem in the Philippines, and particularly so in Manila and the National Capital Region. The nationwide housing backlog is 3.7 million housing units, and that's quite conservative.
On the average, we have around 2 million metric tons of garbage now in this with the area we are standing.
Here in Payatas, we have a 200,000 population surrounding the dam site community. While people in outside world, in the first world, are asking for the quality of life, here our question is just about the how to survive life.
Here in the dam site, there's no potable water, but we can get from the neighboring communities. Their electricity is also an illegal connections from the neighboring communities.
Back in Payatas, although we earn from scavenging, we often fear that sometimes there will be fire from the garbage or flash floods, or sometimes we also don't like the stinking smell of the garbage.
In July 10 of 2000, to be exact, we had a very tragic accident here and there was a trash slide.
Ano ba yun? Nag-ikot-ikot sa...
The day that the landslide happened, the community nearby, we saw the trashes destroying their homes.
There were 270 people found and dead in this area because they were staying at the slopes of the garbage.
Yun, napaka...
Soon after that happened, the Homeless People's Federation went around and we were assisted to be evacuated in the nearby chapel.
I had direct contact with the homeless people of Payatas when they came over to my office, and they started explaining to me what they've been doing. But instead of focusing on the tragedy and, you know, how sad it is that they become victims, they were giving more attention to their own efforts and initiatives to take care of themselves, which was so touching and so inspiring.
There are 60 families living under here, the bridge, and more or less 250 people head counts. The children sometimes go up here in the streets and they play around, so a little bit risk, but they will be hit by the motorists. So we come up to have a little savings every week, so that we hope that we can live in the future. We can live normally. Not here under the street.
One day, I asked them, have you ever received a Christmas card? Why? You have no address. You cannot use your dump site as your address. Having an address for people, having a house and street is also builds up that kind of, of community that they have to play a role in building your own city.
Here's my home.
Nagpapasalamat po kami. Our home here is better than when we were in Payatas. That's why we're very thankful that there's a federation called Homeless People's Federation that assisted poor people like us to have our own homes. And even after we were transferred, their support continued. There are livelihood programs. We are assisted by being lent some capital. They would also help our kids in terms of their medical needs. They also assist us by encouraging us to save for our own future needs.
So pagdating namin dito,
Here in our new home, my family, especially myself, have more peace of mind, thinking that any possibility of tragedy is far from going to happen in our place now, unlike before.
The Federation helps the homeless people get some sense of human dignity and human competence, which is really fantastic.
It's always look at the humanness. The humanness should be celebrated. Nobody celebrates that. The humanness of people when they want to become human and they laugh. Look at their eyes. How do you celebrate the humanness of people?